Hello, my name is Kurt, and today I will be talking about another MGTOW topic. How MGTOW could save you money, but more importantly, your sanity. Now there's a quote by a famous author, William S. Burroughs, and he was asked to give a piece of advice to young men out there. And he simply said, avoid whores who say they don't want money. In the long run, these are the most expensive whores you will ever find. And he is absolutely true. That is a great piece of advice. Unless the woman is rich, loaded, has her own money, and says, I don't care about money, then that's okay. That's acceptable because, I expect her to pay for stuff. I don't expect her to shower me with money or whatever. But if we go to dinner, I expect her to, pay for it every once in a while. And if she says she really doesn't care about money, it shouldn't be a big issue for her to pay for everything. But there are these, hippie sort of chicks, young chicks, that say, oh, I don't care about money. I care about your sensitivity. I care about you. I care about your personality. I care about your sensitive spiritual endeavors and all this stuff. But when you go out to dinner, they expect you to pay for it. And if you tell them, oh, you said you don't care about money, but they're like, oh yeah, but we need to eat. And I'm like, then why did you say you don't care about money? If you're not making your own money, if you're not stable yourself, then you're relying on somebody else. So of course you don't care about money because you get everything for free. And these are the hippie chicks that'll be like, they'll take you somewhere. Or they'll be like, oh, I want to get a tattoo, right? I want to get a peace sign tattooed on my ass. Because that's all I always wanted, right? And then they take you to the tattoo parlor. And you're like, in your head, it's like, oh, they don't care about money, so it's not a big deal. They'll pay for it or whatever. They want it, they'll pay for it. But when it comes down to the paying portion, they'll be like, oh, Kurt, can you get this for me? Can you dish out $100 or $150 for me to get a peace sign tattooed on my ass so the next guy that's banging me could fucking stare at that and blast his load all over that? And they'll bribe you. They'll try to bribe you. They'll be like, oh, if you pay for this, I'll let you, fuck me in the ass or something. They'll give you something special, something forbidden. But even then, even if you're a sucker and you pay for it, and then it comes down to the actual act, they'll let you shove your cock in their ass for like half a minute, and then they'll start crying, and they'll say, oh, it hurts, or I don't like this, or blah, 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 let's do something else. They always back down on it. You know what I mean? So in the end, it's not worth the investment. It's not worth your money, Because you see that they're in it to win it, so to speak. They latched onto you, and they use this, oh, I don't care about money thing, but they actually do. They'll get into these interesting engagements. You'll take them out to dinner, and you'll be like, oh, I don't have any money. They'll be like, what kind of man are you? How are we going to eat? You're supposed to pay for this, blah, blah, blah. And I would simply say, hey, you said you don't care about money. You knew I was kind of broke. You see what I'm saying? I was never really broke, but I'm just saying that because, they made this adamant statement that they don't care about money. So I'm just testing the field, you know what I mean? And they'll always get into this argument. Oh, you're not good enough, or you don't fulfill me anymore, or whatever. Based solely upon that. Now, as a MGTOW, you don't have to deal with this shit. You understand the mind manipulation games that women put you through. This will save you not only money, like I said, but also your sanity, which is a beautiful thing. You don't have to deal with their shit tests. You don't have to deal with their games. You don't have to jump through any hoops. Because women, they always test you, regardless. But they never know what they want most of the time, They'll be like, I want you to do a spinning roundhouse kick through this hoop in the air, right? And then you're preparing for it. You're running up. You're in the middle of your jump. You're in the middle of your roundhouse kick to perfection, right through that hoop. And in the middle of your jump, while you're actually doing the kick, they change their mind and they scream out, "Oh, I don't want you to do a roundhouse kick anymore. I want you to flip backwards through that hoop while wearing a leotard," or something like that. You see, in the middle of that whole thing, they change their mind. And then you might even try it. You might improvise, like, fuck it. You know, I'm in the middle of this roundhouse kick, but screw it. I'll do it. I'll flip backwards through this hoop. You do that while you're flipping backwards through that hoop. "Oh no, I want you to roll through it," or something like that. You see what I'm getting at? You can never satisfy their tests. They'll run you into the fucking ground, and you'll still not pass their test, because they're just testing you. They're seeing what you will do for them. How gullible are you? If you're willing to do all that stupid shit, you're willing to do anything. They already know they got you hooked in. They already know that they could go on the side and cheat and whatever, and you'll be oblivious to it because you follow every one of their commands. It's just too much chaos to be worth it. As a young man, enjoy, experience life, and just do it for yourself. You know, I'm a loner. You know, I don't need anybody. You know, I go to the movies, I go to the cinema, the movies, whatever you want to call it, by myself. Now, a lot of people could say, "Oh, that's weird. You could go with your friends, you could go with a girl, you could go with this." Why the fuck do I need anybody? If I really want to see the movie, I'll go out there and do it myself, because I have always been an independent person, and I always relied on myself. And I find that I enjoy things more when I do them by myself. Meaning, I could go to the movie theaters and say, "I want to watch Star Wars," and I'll watch it and I'll have the time of my life. But if you go with somebody else, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to watch Star Wars anymore. I want to watch some chick flick or some kind of comedy or whatever." And even if you watch the movie you wanted to in the first place, there'll always be distractions. They'll be talking to you like, "Oh, this movie sucks," or "Oh, this and that." And you can't really focus truly upon the movie. So you're paying like $15 a cinema ticket for nothing, for bullshit, for being distracted, you know? And another thing that gets into the whole dating thing, whether you meet a girl on Tinder or you meet her in real life or you meet her anywhere, they expect you to wine and dine them, you know? This is the societal bullshit that has been bestowed upon us, you know? You're lucky to find a girl that says, "Fuck it, let's just buy a 6-pack, let's get wasted, and let's fuck the night away at your place." Doesn't really work out that often. And even if it does, she's probably done that with plenty other men before you. So you got to be cautious about that too. You don't want to stick your dick in crazy, and you don't want to stick your dick in an infested, decaying cavern of filth. You see what I'm saying? So learn how to be happy on your own. Learn how to save your money for the things you truly want. Because when you're in a relationship, most of the time you have to dish out money for things you don't really want to dish out money for. You know, you're saving for a vacation to frickin' Thailand or something, to have the time of your life, you know, to enjoy yourself after, you know, a year of saving up or whatever, right? But the thing is, when you're in a relationship, you're in a financial drain. You're in a financial drain. That vacation might never occur. You know, there's people, I see married men, you know, in their late 60s, in their 70s already, that have been dealing with the same woman already for 40 years. And they said, "I have never been on a vacation my entire fucking life. I spent all my time at work. I brought money back home. I took care of all that stuff. And now I'm treated like shit. My wife doesn't even cook for me. She doesn't do anything for me. She treats me like a piece of shit." You know? And this is very common. This is very freaking common. So don't end up like that. Don't be like that, you know? Fuck all that bullshit. It's a romanticized idea. It's not worth the struggle. What I want to tell you is that personally, I have found that it's never worth the struggle. Sex and pussy is in abundancy, first of all. But second of all, it's not worth all the games and all the bullshit and all the money you put into it. All the time, all the effort, all this stuff. Just for that. Just for an hour of satisfaction. You know? And you're lucky to get that once a week if you're married. Once a month if you're married. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. See, if I was in a relationship, I would not have much cash. Because like I said, relationships are always financially demanding. You know, I would not have the stuff I want. I would not be able to pay, $20 for a cigar that I want. I wouldn't have money to buy a nice watch. I wouldn't have money to treat myself to a nice, just relaxing event every once in a while, My life would be focused around gaining financial stability in order to stabilize another person instead of stabilizing myself, Now a lot of people may say, oh, that's very selfish, that's this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. They could say whatever they want. In the end, I'm enjoying myself, I'm buying the things I want. I'm buying the clothes I want. I'm eating the expensive food I want. I'm smoking the best cigars that I want. And these people that'll hate on you, these people that'll say, oh, you're just an idiot and you're gonna, die alone and all this bullshit. Fuck them. Look at them. Just look at them and realize what they're telling you. They could be saying all this shit, but they're wearing clothes with holes in them. They're eating at McDonald's dollar menu every single night. They're doing all this stuff for supposed love, for supposed romance. And in the end, you're eating ramen every fucking night because you can't afford anything else. But when that woman gets bored, she'll leave you. She has absolutely no fucking hesitation. She'll find the next guy, she'll latch on to him. And guess what? She'll take most of your money and all that shit. If you're not engaged in any sort of marriage contract or anything, they'll break your stuff. They'll throw your stuff out the fucking window. They'll do whatever it takes to kind of ruin you right before they leave. And you say to yourself, I did all this stuff for you. I sacrificed all this shit for you. And this is how you treat me? And they don't care. They really don't care. It'll hurt you, but they don't give a fuck. You'll still be eating ramen. And you'll be eating ramen for months in a row. And they'll be eating lobster with the new guy. You know what I'm saying? And if you could build yourself up from that bullshit, you don't have to be eating ramen anymore. But realize that you have to be alone. Or just find women that you're just sort of dabbling with. Nothing too serious. See what I'm saying? And all these people will say, oh, money won't bring you happiness. Money won't bring you anything. That's true. But money will bring you a better lifestyle. I don't see Donald Trump complaining about the $1 billion he has. I don't see, these rich Arabian princes saying, oh, I'm wealthy. What a drag. No, you enjoy it. That's what it's for. See, a lot of people believe that, oh, Lamborghini, it's just a car. A Rolex is just a watch. Yes, that's true. But it's the goal. It's the status associated with that. And you don't really have to give a shit about status. Like, for example, I'm going to purchase a Rolex not long from now. I'm going to get a nice one, maybe 5 to 10 grand. I don't necessarily know yet. I haven't been researching it too much yet. But somebody would say, Kurt, you're going to dish out $5,000 for a goddamn watch? that could tell the time. You have the time on your phone. Why the hell do you need anything so expensive? It's not about the watch itself. It is a goal that I've set. I said to myself, I want a Rolex. And every morning I wake up with that goal in my head. I need to make money to buy that Rolex for myself. And then when I get that Rolex, it's not about, flashing it. Hey, everybody, look, I got a fucking Rolex. No, you wear it with confidence and you're silent about it because it's your own personal goal. After you reach that goal, after you have that Rolex, you look at your wrist, you see that Rolex, and you said, yes, all my time, all my effort has been invested in something tangible, something that I could hold, something that I could see, something that I could touch. You know, I have reached that goal. I have set it for myself and I have reached it. And this makes me a powerful person. Now, what are your goals in relationships and all that stuff? What are your goals? To keep everything stable, maybe get married, maybe have kids, do all that stuff. But in the end, who knows how it could end up? The woman could take your kids. You'll be out alone. You'll be eating ramen again and shit like that. Fuck that. Rolex on my wrist. I don't give a fuck. I look at that shit and say, I always wanted a Rolex. I got a Rolex. And nobody got in the fucking way of me getting that Rolex. See what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful empowerment thing. And then you could set another goal. You say, okay, I already got my Rolex. So now it's time for a Lamborghini, And there's your other goal. And then you might be saying, what's the point of all this stuff? What's the point of all this stuff? Personal gratification. You're not living in a constant mental torment because some woman's on your shoulder pestering you all the time that she wants a new Victoria's Secret perfume or something. You're not dealing with that shit. You're driving a Lamborghini, having your Rolex, you're living it up. Life is good, You're living like a king, like you always wanted to live. You're not living like a peasant. See what I'm saying? And it's the beauty and it's the freedom and it's the freedom of mental torment. It's the freedom of financial drains. It's a freedom to do what you want to do as a person and not having anybody stand in your way. Because if you're with a female, you could be working all these years and you say, okay, honey, I'm going to buy a Rolex because I always wanted one. She'll always find something to say. You're going to give out $5,000 for a goddamn wristwatch. We could use that $5,000 to, do something else, to go on vacation or to buy something for the house or whatever, And what is that vacation going to consist of? It's not going to be for your enjoyment because you got to dish out money for her as well. So you're going to go there. She's going to lay in the sun. You're going to be using all this hard money that you worked for to give somebody else a free ride. Fuck that. I go on a vacation, I go by myself. Going to the fucking Bahamas, just chilling, smoking my cigar, enjoying life. There's women around there, chat with them. Let out your charm a little bit, maybe get laid a couple of times, and just live it up because you're free. You're not stuck with some wife that's pestering you all the time. Stop looking at that woman's G-string. You have me, this and that. Fuck that. I work for this. I enjoy it to the full advantage. I do as I please. See what I'm saying? A lot of people could say, that's narcissistic, that's this, that's it. I don't give a fuck what other people say. Because in the end, they could say whatever they want. But you're still your own person, They could be saying you're some kind of narcissistic, sociopathic cunt, right? But what are they doing with their lives? Are they going on vacations? Are they enjoying themselves? They might be, but not to the degree that you can if you're totally alone, totally free, and have all the money that you have saved up. You have the advantage. You could do more than they can. So fuck their comments. I don't give a fuck. Call me a narcissist. Call me a sociopath. Call me a fucking douchebag. Call me whatever the fuck you want to call me. In the end, it's my life. The way you view me doesn't apply to me. I don't give a flying fuck. You see? See, people judge other people by stupid shit like this, by appearance, by stuff like that. I don't give a fuck. If I see a guy wearing a Rolex, I don't say, oh, he's a fucking rich bastard. He's probably selfish and he's a fucking, he's the top 10% or whatever, and fuck him, Or if I see somebody driving a Corvette or a Lamborghini making a lot of noise, I don't say, oh, look at that douchebag driving around, while I'm driving in a fucking broken down. No, none of that shit. I admire that. See? I see that guy with a Rolex or with that Lamborghini and I say, he made it. He made it. I don't know how he made it, but he made it. And I look up to him and I aspire to be something like that myself. See, this isn't like a female game, because females look at each other with vengeance. They're like, oh, that girl's wearing these skanky clothes and she's a bitch. Or look at her, she's this and that. Because she's either prettier than her, she has something else she doesn't have, and there's always this vengeance. They want to ruin them. You see, they see that pretty girl wearing all that expensive shit, and they're like, oh, I want to get her sugar daddy. I want to fuck her sugar daddy, get rid of her, and I want to be in her place. You see, that's how it always is. Me, I don't care. I don't want to get rid of that dude that has a Rolex. I don't want to, envy him. I don't want to be in his place, so to speak. I aspire to achieve that myself. I'm like, great job, man. Congratulations. You made it. Can you give me any tips on how I can make it myself? See what I'm saying? This is how you got to do things. Otherwise, you'll end up in these fucking mind games for pussy that isn't even worth it, draining all your fucking money. It's not even worth it. You take a girl out for a date, to a dinner, to a restaurant. You end up dropping $150 already. Who else? Who knows what else she wants? Maybe a pair of shoes, maybe this and that. $200. You see, I didn't want to buy those fucking pair of shoes. I didn't want to go to dinner. I don't give a shit about that. What the fuck? But you always do it because you want to satisfy that female. And then it just becomes, like I said, more and more of an excessive financial strain. And if you can't deal with that, they'll drop you for somebody else. It's as simple as that. And it's not always money. It's not always money that comes into account when it comes with women. I said all these mind games, all these hoops. They will find somebody, they could be broke, that could jump through those hoops that she places better than you. That gives her satisfaction, that gives her a sense of power, that gives her a sense of control. And that's what she's going to go after. But I say, fuck that. Instead of dropping $150 on a dinner, instead of buying her $200 shoes, I'm going to fucking Thailand, then I'm going to freaking South Korea, and then I'm going to Amsterdam, and I'm going to just party it up. I'm going to just have a great time myself. I could spend some time with the local women there. Most of them are gold diggers anyway, so don't get too, advanced in that. Just, that Asian fever, you see? You feel me? They'll be they'll be the sweetest women you ever see, but it's the same trap that all the other ones place on you. You'll get stuck in that, and then they'll turn sour, and then you'll realize that they only wanted you for your wealth, your money, your genetics, you're an American, whatever. They want access to the United States. They want you to support their family. Fuck that. Head into all those places. Visit the fucking massage shops. Visit all the red light districts. Have the time of your life. That's another beautiful thing about having your own money and not dealing with the bullshit. If I want right now, I could have a black girl with B-size cup breasts, a plump, just nice body, right? With green eyes. For $150 to $200 as an escort. And guess what? I don't have to deal with her shit. After an hour, I'm gone. And guess what? After that, I could have another girl. An Asian. Let's say today I had a black girl. Tomorrow I'll have an Asian chick. with big boobs and, you know, a natural bushy vagina or something, you know? And then the next day, I could have a Latina girl. And then the next day, I could have freaking an Irish girl. It never ends. When you got the money, you could do whatever the fuck you want, and you're not restricted to that. You don't have to deal with the mind games. You don't have to deal with the bullshit. You fuck who you want. You pay them and you leave. And a lot of people say, oh, that's empty. That's empty. Bullshit. You want me to tell you the truth? Most of the women I've slept with have been just as dead emotionally as most fucking escorts. Honestly speaking, escorts are actually more convincing to a certain degree. I know it's all bullshit, but at least they could put on a good show. And I say, okay, you know, it's worth the money. You know, you actually earned $150. But you're with a girl, she'll be laying there like a dead fish, you'll be plowing away, and you'll think to yourself, this is it? This is all the shit I've been suffering for? This is all the money I invested into this? All my time, all my shit? Why? For some kind of fake emotional bond that could break at any time? Fuck that garbage. Don't listen to what other people say. MGTOW all the way. Go your own way and never stop. Do what you enjoy. Fuck everybody else. You know, people will say, oh, you're a loser because you invest in escorts. Dude, I'm fucking banging any chick I want of any ethnicity at any time. And then when it's over, I'm gone. They're gone. I don't have to deal with their shit. Good luck to you. You could call me a loser. You could call me a fucking, you know, nasty person, whatever. You stay with your one girl. You'll be plowing the same vagina every fucking night. It's gonna get boring. She's not gonna put in effort. And even if she's really good at sex, in the end, it's not worth the fucking effort. Honestly speaking, the stuff you put in is not worth the stuff that you get out of it. Fuck it. Rise up. Never stop. You gotta keep on rising. Alright, everybody? All the fellow men out there, I hope this was a little inspirational. I hope this was a little inspiring to keep on going your way. And like I said, take my advice. If you got the money, don't be a sad little bitch about it. Don't be like, oh my god, I'm not getting laid. I don't have a girlfriend now. Fuck this. You have the money. Take the money. Go on vacation. Run around the beach naked. Bang a couple locals. And shut your fucking trap. And keep on going and keep on enjoying life. Peace out, everybody.